morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay. My voice is coming back.
Everything's
I sound a little funny, but it's coming back.
Everything's a little off today.
Yeah.
Renee's voice is off. My voice is off. That camera is a replacement camera. I do have to give it up for Adrian for taking the initiative to take that camera in and get it fixed. So we had a camera that was broken and we had just put it off forever.
Only like half the screen on the back works. So we were always kind of guessing when we placed it.
So we have a new camera there. Renae and I, we are both under the weather. As a matter of fact, the whole family. We're in one of those situations where
nobody's sleeping tonight. Everybody's coughing. Just put everybody in the same bed.
My son got sick first. We took him to the doctor, got him on meds, and then I was on the road. Renae brought it with her. We'll talk about that.
I brought it with me.
To me, insisted on kissing me, insisted on having sex with me.
Okay.
You know, and I was like, get your hands off me. You're sick. She's like, I can't help it. She's like, I want you so bad. You're going to get sick no matter what.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh so hard.
But, so we are a little off this morning, but happy. We are happy. Poor Delilah Ray last night with a little bit of a fever and the same cough.
Yeah.
So she has a doctor's appointment today. And it's just, you know, when you have kids, as the gentlemen here, like Adrian and Rick know, there are some times in the house where everybody's just going to get sick.
Yeah, and sometimes I almost feel like it's just better that way. Like Garrett had kind of been sick and had that persistent cough for a while, and we were all like, okay, we're not getting it. Garrett, like cough in your elbow, like, you know, keep it to yourself. And that worked for about 5 days or so. But I almost feel like we might as well just all get it at the same time and be done with it.
And Garrett's so sweet. Garrett is a lot like me, where he understands other people's feelings. And several times he was like, I'm sorry I got you sick, Dad. And I'm like, no, buddy, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. Have you told me you're sorry for getting me sick? No, you have not. But Garrett has definitely been very sweet and told me. And Delilah's just a scrapper, man. She's just a tough kid. You know, I mean, even though she was sick, she woke up this morning with a good attitude and you know, she still had a 99. Last night she had 102.
Almost 100. She was pushing at 103 last night. Yeah.
And then today she was at like 99 during the day. But man, she's like, I'm not going to school. All right. I mean, like, I want to watch PJ Masks or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's a lot like me. Like, you don't know. I think both of our kids, like Garrett, we went through that with Garrett too, where by the time we have to take him to the doctor, because he's showing signs, the doctor's like, oh, my God, this kid is really sick.
This child has a double ear infection. And we're like, I don't know. He never tugged on his ears.
Never tugged on his ears, acted completely normal. So it had to get really bad for my kids to speak up.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot like me, you know.
Yeah.
But I went right away to Dr. Shaw, Dr. Z, Greenhouse Med Spa.
Yes.
And got an IV. That is the move. For those of you who have seen it on TV, who have thought about it, IVs work.
I know some people are like freaked out about needles and stuff like that, but you, as soon as you start to lose your voice, because it happens often to you, you go get an IV and you're like back up and running.
Yep, IVs work. There's a reason that when you go into the hospital and you're sick, one of the first things they do is put an IV in. Because it works. And you know, you got to be careful.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You and I have learned after getting them for a couple of years now, like where you go and what they put in the bag makes the difference between whether or not it's effective or it's just like flushing water.
Yeah, you got to be careful because sometimes, you know, we did find ourselves going to places where it was a bullshit bag. They did not put the vitamins in it. You know,
well, they did, just not like the concentration of what you need to actually see an improvement.
But Dr. Shaw at Greenhouse Med Spa, you know, he's always guaranteed. They always work with us. They're amazing. I went right in. If you've ever thought about it, Rick, have you ever done it?
No, you keep telling.
We lost Rick.
We lost Rick.
Already. Adrian, have you?
No, never have.
Thought about it?
Nope.
I was going to say, some people are freaked out about it, and they're like, I don't know exactly what that is. And then, like, some people just think it's hocus pocus. Like,
no, like I started doing it in Vegas because across from the Brad Garrett Comedy Club was an IV place. So at first I would flirt with, well, they'll give you a B12 shot. So I'm like, okay, I'll do a B12 shot,
The
right? I've been
energy
in Vegas.
boost.
I've been partying, whatever. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me try. So I woke up hungover. I go, let me try this. It says it's a hangover cure. You literally feel yourself getting better as the bag is going through your body. You feel yourself waking up. You feel the energy. I mean, you go right back to almost completely normal. And you're like, all right, time to drink again. Let's pollute my body again. But for those of you that have ever thought about it, considered it, it really does work.
Yeah.
You just texted
I was
me.
just letting Rick know. I was texting
Yeah.
Rick. We lost him in our headset.
So immediately went and did that. And Renae and I are both on meds.
Yeah.
So we should be doing better. Renae, so first I did Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, for those of you that don't know, it is coming up.
Did you do a casino in Oklahoma City or a theater?
No, it's just a theater.
Yeah.
Tower Theater.
Just a theater.
No craps at the theater. But man, I gotta give it up for Oklahoma City. Like it's a little cool little town. They got little breweries downtown now and nice restaurants and a nightlife. And I actually had a really good time hanging out in Oklahoma City.
You hung out after your show?
Yeah, me and Mike Young and Timmy and Kate plus 8. I call her Kate plus 8. She
Well, nobody wants to be called Kate plus 8. I don't think that is a compliment.
I'm not trying to compliment her. It's just when I say
Why
her
do you
name,
call her Kate plus 8?
I don't know. It was like a show.
Do you know? Kate plus 8 was like she was kind of crazy.
Well, I don't know that.
I mean, I think 8 babies would probably make you crazy in her defense, but like it's not a compliment to call someone Kate plus 8. You got to find a better nickname for Kate.
Kate plus great. Kate is great. Does that work? Adrian fucking rolled his eyes. Like, oh God, dad joke. No, so we all went and had a drink and hung out and it was just a cool town.
Yeah.
Woke up, went to Midland, did Midland, amazing show, amazing theater.
Yeah.
Had a absolute good time on stage.
When I think of Midland, I just think about like during COVID, you did so many like honky tonks. So I think of you like honky tonk in Midland. So it's probably nice to go and have like a theater experience.
A proper theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it repeat people?
Some. I mean, it was 1,800 seats. We sold them all out.
Yeah.
So I would assume that
some of those people came back.
Some of those people came back.
Very cool for them to like get to see you in a honky tonk and then see you in a theater.
It was awesome. And then I was excited because my beautiful wife was going to meet me in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Well, I met you at the
Beau
Dallas
Rivage.
airport.
Yes.
We met at the Dallas airport.
It was really cool because I landed and I'm on the phone and I'm like, hey, we're here. She's like, well, I'm by the Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, I'm looking at the Dunkin' Donuts. She's like, I'm right here. I'm like, there's my wife.
It was fun to meet in the airport.
Met in the airport, flew to Beau Rivage. I had to fly into New Orleans. Had no idea it was Mardi Gras.
Yes.
So all these Mardi Gras people,
yeah,
like jumping on our
like
planes.
in the airport, everyone's wearing their purple, yellow, and green and has beads and like sparkly jackets.
Well, that's another thing that sucks. Like sometimes I find myself as a stand-up competing against things, So, for example, Oklahoma City, we did not sell it out completely. We had a good turnout. We didn't sell it out. But Pitbull, Enrique, and Ricky Martin were there that night.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with a concert that is going to overpower you on promotion and overpower you on everything.
Yeah.
Then I go to Biloxi to find out I'm competing against Mardi Gras.
Yeah, like they're
Like they had a parade.
It's
you
a
couldn't
big
even
deal
get to
in
the
Biloxi.
casino because the parade route. So we ended up having to start the show late, and I mean the casino was nuts.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome show. You got to run into.
It was beautiful. I was surprised. I walked in and like they had the most amazing display for Chinese New Year. Oh my God, that was the thing about this week. As someone who loves to like celebrate holidays, it was like everything crammed into one week. You have it was Super Bowl Sunday. It was Chinese New Year.
Mardi
Gras. And it's like
was,
Valentine's
I gotta have
Day
Steve's
all
dick.
at once and Ash Wednesday. Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday fall on
yeah.
the same day this year. Like it's crazy this week.
You saw how she just skated over.
Yes,
my
I
joke.
did. Sometimes I do that.
Anyway, that's why I got sick. She couldn't keep her hands off me. She could not keep her hands off me. But it was really cool because my Aunt Elva She was there with her friend.
Yes.
And well, her cousin, basically,
Yeah.
through her husband,
Yeah.
my uncle, and she hits me up. She's like, "We're down here." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Aunt Elva's here." So it was really special because as you get older, you don't really get to spend time with your aunts and uncles and your family.
Well, especially when you don't live at home, when you live
Right,
away from where you
so-
grew up.
I just sat there with her, and we played slot machines together,
Yeah.
and we talked and caught up, and it was just really nice to have her alone.
Yeah.
And it was just
It was
me and her.
calm.
It was calm.
I
There
mean,
wasn't-
all the
know,
gambling,
but
the
it was
dings
just
and the
me and
lights
her.
in the casino.
It was just me and my aunt. I love my aunt, and you just don't have time to catch up. And we just sat there together, me and her. We played,
Yeah.
and it was a special moment because, I do value life, and I do know that those times are far and few between.
Yeah.
And, she's getting older.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed sitting there with my Aunt Elva and talking to her and catching up and just enjoying her company. Had a great you got to meet
One of my dear friends, like one of my first girlfriends when I moved to LA after college. She's in Mississippi now, and I'm so glad she saw your schedule, and she's like, "Renae, are you going to Biloxi with Steve?" She's like, "I'll come. I'll make the drive. I'll come visit." And I was like, "Yeah."
What?
So,
I don't mean to stir the pot,
but
I'm going to stir the pot.
why are you stirring the pot?
So when you moved to LA,
Yes.
you have a group of girlfriends.
Yeah.
Why
You're
do you
making me
think-
nervous. Where
No,
are you
why
going
do
with
you
this?
why do you think that out of the 5 of y'all, only 2 of y'all are married?
That is.
I have some thoughts on it.
Well, no. Wait, not only 2 of us are married. Linda, 3 of us are married.
3 out of how many?
3.
7.
No, when we get together, there's 6.
Ronit's not married. Is she still
Yeah,
part of that?
Ronit's married, has a baby.
Oh,
but
that's right.
but Ronit's a separate group. Ronit's one of my college NYU friends.
Ah.
If you're talking about the group that tries to get together once a year, there's 6 of us, and 3 of us are married and 3 are not.
Why do you think the 3 are not?
I don't know.
I have some thoughts.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say it's because they were too picky when they were young and they should have just married a guy with one app.
No, I mean, part of that. Yes, part of that. But I also think that LA is such a toxic place.
No, I mean, I think it's a lot of things. I think they each dated very different people, but I think some they were dating men who they thought they would marry. And I think LA, there's a real always younger, hotter, bigger boobs syndrome with men.
That's what I mean. It's toxic. LA is very toxic. And LA, when I lived in LA, it was always, what do you do?
And what was that
That
app?
was the
I don't even
first-
remember what it's called. What was that dating app where you swipe left or swipe right? I
Tinder
also
or-
think yeah, whatever. I also think we were young in LA when the dating apps were all just starting to be a new thing. And imagine what that's like when you live in a big city. It's different when you live in a small town and there's only a certain amount of people on Tinder or whatever this dating app. But when you're in a city like LA where there's all these hot, beautiful women and you're just looking at a profile picture to decide yes or no, to me, that's
Yeah, but your
recipe for
your
dating
girlfriends are
disaster.
very pretty, so I just think it's a toxic environment. And I think that, yes, bigger, better. Like I said, living in LA, that's the first thing people ask you when you meet. What do you do? That's you're out hanging out and it's, what do you do?
Well, because you're in it, at the time and probably still, we don't live there anymore, but you're living in such an area that is so saturated with people who work in the industry. So it is about networking. And even when you're dating, as a woman, one of my good girlfriends was a producer and worked,
and there's just, it's tough too, because I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just going to say, even she has to be careful. When she's dating a guy, is he dating me because of the production company I work for?
Right.
You
That's
know,
what I mean.
does he want to make sure I'm passing along his script? It was hard. She did date a writers, and you don't know, are they genuinely
It's all
interested in
political bullshit.
me?
Yeah, no,
or are they
I don't
interested
disagree.
in how I might be able to help them?
That's what I'm saying, is it's a very toxic environment. But I also think it's, when you hit that 35 and up,
Yeah.
It gets very complicated.
If you're a female, not if you're a male.
Why not if you're a male? Of course.
Oh,
if you're-
because
if you're
how
a
many
male.
men are older men that date younger women?
But it's still complicated.
It's not, it's not as common to see an older woman dating a younger man. Not that it doesn't happen, but it's not as common. No one's laughing.
Adrian laughed.
Crickets, crickets.
No, it's still complicated for guys that are over 35 who are still single.
I don't know, dude.
I already told you, I don't think I could even.
I mean, as long as they're not living with their mom, I don't know that it's that complicated.
It is. I don't know. I mean, again, going back to 2 episodes ago, I couldn't date some girl in their 20s. There's no fucking way. I have nothing to say to them.
Well, no, because you've gotten used to being with a smart woman who has an opinion. But I think if you had dated the same kind of women like you dated in your 20s and 30 or your 20s, then it would just be normal to you.
No, but a real relationship has to have conversation and debate and enjoy the same things. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to a Justin Bieber concert. Look, power to Justin Bieber. Or I mean,
Like, I want to go to a Justin Bieber concert. Why Justin Bieber concert?
no,
Why
I'm
not?
just saying I could not date a girl in their 20s. It just, for that 3 minutes, it'd probably be great.
Yeah.
For the 3 minutes
Yeah.
in bed. But
Rick is like dying laughing in the background. What are you laughing about, Rick?
there's 23
Wait, I want to know what Rick's laughing about.
and 57 minutes left.
3 minutes.
Yeah, the 3 minutes I see her naked that's probably great. But then there's 23 and 57 minutes left of the day that I got to talk to this girl. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Could you date a younger man? No way.
I don't think
Don't pause,
so.
bitch. Don't pause. You better have answers. You better have answers.
I've never thought about it. I've never gone down that road. That was the pause. I've never thought about it. I don't even like people that much. So I really can't imagine dating anyone else but you.
Well, I'm not a person, so that works out great. You could just stomp all over me and I happen to.
Oh, don't say that. I just gave you a compliment. I said I love you. I paused because I really can't think of myself with anyone else but you.
But I think that's part of the reason that we got sick is because, I'm doing this tour. We met. I had my flight out of Midland to make it to New Orleans on time.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even make it to Biloxi on time. We had to go to New Orleans and then drive to Biloxi. I had to get on a flight at 5 a.m., met you there, land in New Orleans, drive to Biloxi, and then we had to get in a car at 2:30 a.m. to make it home to our kids.
The car at the casino.
Because that was the only flight that was going to get us home to our kids at a decent hour. So we literally did not sleep all of Sunday.
Yeah.
Like we got there, we had lunch. By the time we got there, it was lunchtime. We showered up. You couldn't keep your hands off me. We went and did the show, and then we hung out with Meg at the craps table a little bit. You guys had a little breakfast, and then it was time to get back in the car. The only time we slept was in the car on the way to
The airport.
and then on the plane. So we literally slept all of 3 hours to get home, catch up with the kids, your parents, Super Bowl Sunday.
We took a nap with Delilah. We all took a family nap on Sunday before Super Bowl.
So I think that's part of the reason that we got a little sicker.
Yeah. I know everyone was like, did you lose your voice from shouting at the TV when the Super Bowl? I was like, no, I stayed awake till halftime and then I passed out after that.
Yeah, Renae could care less about the Super Bowl.
Guys.
I did win my bets, which was exciting. I think there was 2 good commercials. Which one do you think I think are the 2 good commercials?
Okay, I'm trying to remember which ones I really enjoyed. I thought Ben Affleck killed it.
That's my number 1.
Ben Affleck killed it.
And if you're on TikTok, there's a whole bunch of other little ones that are on TikTok that are just hilarious and great and
outtakes from the Dunkings.
I think I think this is gonna bring Ben Affleck back.
Well, you know what? I just like for him to be the superstar that he is and commit to being so silly like that and pulling it off so well, I
Well,
thought was like
I-
so impressive
right.
and endearing. And
I
like,
think he kind of had a reputation, at least to me, of being a miserable fuck. What I say, is that correct? He kind of has this reputation of just like, ugh. But
we forgot that he's fun.
I admire him because I have seen interviews where he's like, I just want to be an actor. I don't want the fame and the bullshit that comes with it. I've been right through the freaking tabloids with the Jennifer Lopez relationship.
Yeah.
He's
also,
like,
hasn't he gone to rehab or dealt with addiction?
I don't know.
Or
I don't think so.
Drinking? No.
But he has a reputation of being somewhat of a miserable fuck. And I really believe that this commercial brought, like you said, made him fun again. And you really saw a really endearing
it's
side.
a Good Will Hunting guy again.
Yeah, a really endearing side of him that I thought was hilarious. I thought Matt Damon freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
Tom Brady
Even
was
Tom Brady was good.
Tom Brady was in like 4 fucking commercials at the Super Bowl, but I thought Tom was great in the Dunk Kings.
Yeah.
And then there's one. Did you see the one where Ben's like, throw it to me? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So he's playing catch with Matt Damon. Ben Affleck walks in and he's like, hey, well, throw me one, Tom. Yeah. So Tom kind of lobs this little baby one. Did you see it?
I saw. That's the one I saw.
And he throws it. Pwah! He's like, okay, I was not ready for that, right? That was my favorite commercial. I think that a lot of times commercials try to be funny and miss the mark.
Yeah.
And I think there was a couple of those this Super Bowl where I was like, oh, I see how you were trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. And Dunk Kings was funny.
Yeah. I only saw the first half of the show, so I didn't see the Jennifer Aniston commercial. I missed that one with her and David Schwimmer.
I didn't think that one was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was and I will say that I was wondering because, of course, Dunkin' Donuts, they were going for the whole Boston thing.
Yes.
I was wondering why they didn't reach out to Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
Or Mark Wahlberg, and what I think, here's my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg hates the fact that he did a rap album.
Okay.
And he has worked very hard to get away from that image. And then when they asked him to do this, he thought, it's going to go back.
Been so great in that commercial.
But so the only time I've ever been bummed out with Mark Wahlberg.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wait, I'm thinking there has to be, while we're on the commercials, I'm thinking there has to be a follow-up commercial
with other
where
Bostonians?
Mark Wahlberg joins the Dunk Kings. Like the Dunk Kings can keep on going.
I don't think he'll do it. I'll tell you why. Because I love Mark. And Mark Wahlberg seems to be a solid individual who is happily married.
He's like one of my favorites. So be careful what you say.
But
he's
also not afraid to be religious. Like, I love him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the one time I was upset with him is he's doing Inside the Actor Studio.
Okay.
Right? With that freaking weirdo. Whatever
James Lipton.
Oh, James Lipton's disgusting. He's a weirdo. Yeah. I don't like him at all. A very arrogant guy. Anyway, he goes to Mark and he says, can you sing some of
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
Good Vibration? And then Mark Wahlberg goes, no. And he's like, no, come on, like, sing it.
Yeah, you
and then Mark
says, rapped it.
And then Mark says, I don't even remember the lyrics. And I'm like, fuck off. I remember the lyrics.
Okay, let's hear him.
And I didn't have to sing it.
Let's hear him. You
now
remember?
That we found love, what have we gotta do?
That wasn't even his part.
Right?
You gotta do the right. Is that even the right song?
Drug free, so put the crack up. Right? I know. Right? That's part of it.
Rick, can you please put the lyrics up on the screen so Steve can rap for us?
But you could tell, look, freaking Rick's gonna do it. You could tell that Mark did not want, and to me, there he is, shirtless. You'll like that.
I do like that. We should put
lyrics.
it on. We should put a picture of Mark Wahlberg shirtless on the big screen.
Feel the vibration
to enjoy.
It's such a good, you have to do the. It's such a good vibration.
Yeah, I can barely speak.
Oh, yeah, it's about that time to bring forth the rhythm of the rhyme. I'm going to get mine, so get yours. I'm going to see sweat coming out your pores. On the house tip is how I'm swinging this. Strictly hip-hop, boy. I ain't singing this. Bringing this entire nation, black, white, and red, brown. Feel the vibration. I mean, come on. Mark sung it a million freaking times. Let's not act like you don't know the lyrics.
Well, listen, I think we know what your karaoke song is.
Oh, God, that was terrible. So I think that he's like, doesn't want to go back to there.
Yeah? I don't know. I think at some point in his career, he will go back there. I think he's just waiting for the right
I don't know.
time.
I mean, he's gotten rid of his tattoos.
Well, he's also, speaking of LA and LA being toxic, do you know he doesn't live in LA anymore?
He lives in Vegas.
They don't live in LA. They moved. He said that his kids are like, the article I read about him was that like his kids are now teenagers, his daughters. And he was like, I just felt like I needed to go someplace for them.
No, Vegas. Yeah, of all places. I need them to have a stage that they can strip on.
Stop.
No, I like the guy a lot. I like Mark because in my life I have had growth as well.
Yeah.
Right? I have grown. I have become a different man.
And he was famous so young.
I get it.
To be that sexy and that famous when you're that young, holy moly.
And he's kept it together. And that's why I do like him and I admire him. But I really think he did not choose this commercial because he didn't want to go back
You're speaking like it was offered to him. We don't even know.
How do you not offer it to him?
If it was offered to him.
Rick?
Well, if you want
Producer
J-Lo, it
I want producer Rick's opinion on this.
I wouldn't have offered to him. You want Ben and Matt who are known to be Boston.
Yeah, but so is Mark.
Yeah, but what does he have to do with Ben and Matt?
Because he was already a rapper and from Boston. He could have been the choreographer.
But Ben is also like they're known for I feel like Ben and Matt are not just known for Boston. They're also known for like loving their Dunkin' Donuts. So it's super on brand. And then as a bonus, you get Benifer. You get
what's
both.
your Benifer?
Yeah, Jennifer and Ben Benifer.
J-Lo has more rings than any Super Bowl quarterback out there. That bitch collects rings.
Good for her.
She's like freaking the dude from Marvel. What's his name? Thanos? Yeah, the 10 rings. She just gets she collects all the fucking rings. That girl's gone through more dick.
I like her.
Christ.
Stop. I like
more
her.
wieners than wiener schnitzel over there.
Okay.
She's just freaking tossing them down a hallway. Oh, J-Lo just freaking
tossing them down a hallway.
Yeah, it's been abused down there.
Stop.
It's the Batcave
it was
for
funny
Ben Affleck.
Until stop. It's just getting worse. I'm
Batman. Come into my Batcave.
Why don't you lose your voice?
It's getting close. It's definitely getting close. So what was the second one you liked?
I don't remember. Like I said, I only saw the first half.
Rick, which one did you like other than the Dunkings?
I don't. God, none stick out to me. It was all kind of a blur because I'm more into the game than watching the commercials, so I kind of just doze off during the commercials.
I like watching both. I like watching and me as a comedian, as a writer of funny, I like to watch these guys try to be funny.
Yeah.
And see if it hits. And I'm not a hater.
I feel like there was another commercial that I thought
hit.
was like well written. I was like, credit to the writers on that one. And I can't remember which one it was.
Well, I also thought it was really interesting that Jesus had a commercial. Who paid for Jesus' commercial?
Oh my God, someone was talking about who spent more money, Jesus or politics?
Right.
On this
well, and what I thought was odd, they used the song from In Excess. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And Michael Hutchins, the lead singer, died because he was masturbating, choking himself with a belt. Let's use that song.
That is interesting.
For a Jesus commercial.
That is an interesting choice. You're right. I hadn't connected those dots.
Thought that was a little...
Maybe most people don't connect those dots. I don't know, but
I just did.
But the person who produced that commercial should have,
Yeah, you should have. You would think that he would go, let's pick an artist that maybe represents Jesus, not a dude that passed away, masturbating with a belt around his neck.
Yeah.
He came and went at the same time.
Oh, okay. You are like killing it on the
All
jokes.
the dirty jokes today. What were we talking about? The one that was well written?
Oh, I can't remember which one it was. Do
I
you
did
remember me
love the
mentioning
one
it when we were
about the
watching it?
kid in Africa.
State Farm was really well done.
State Farm.
Oh,
Arnold's was
yes.
great.
That was well written.
That was
yes.
good.
Then you have
Yeah.
Danny
Danny DeVito jumped in with him. Yep. And then I did like the. I thought it was very sweet. The kid imagining himself
The
playing
NFL
football.
doing
Yeah.
that outreach
I
program.
thought that was
they
a
do.
really, really cool way
It was beautifully done.
to put it together.
And I don't know athletes, but whoever that athlete was he a famous football player?
Yeah,
He was so
was
genuine in the commercial, like the eyes,
I
the
enjoyed
look on
that
his
one.
face. He was wonderful.
pulled at the heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Budweiser was really trying.
Is that the one with the train?
They
The
did
train
the
that came through the building?
Clydesdales, which was
Oh.
a beautiful commercial.
Yeah.
But
Coors Light was the train, I think.
Coors Light was the train with LL
Yeah.
Cool J
Yeah.
that came in, and then the other one I thought was funny was the Jason Momoa.
Oh, I missed that one. I think that was second half, but
And
I
the-
saw it.
The two dudes from
I
Scrubs.
saw it replayed.
They're very. What is it?
It was the T-Mobile commercial.
T-Mobile commercial. But the two dudes from the TV show Scrubs, they just have good chemistry.
Oh, I was
Those
going
guys-
to say they are like they know how to play off each other.
They should be in a movie together
Yeah.
because those guys. There's just something about the two of them that just
Well, they know
works.
their character so well.
And all I see is the dude from Clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I see.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that's my generation, but Clueless was one of those movies when I was in high school that, oh my God, we probably saw it 15 times.
Yeah.
But he'll always be the dude from Clueless. But they just have a great chemistry. And Jason also seems like a guy that I could get along with.
He just jumped in and played.
He just seems like a dude that's just a cool guy. I don't think he takes himself very seriously. Seems very laid back.
He seems like a big kid. He seems like you. He seems like a big kid.
But he's also Hawaiian, and you know the Hawaiian people are just full of love.
Yeah.
And he just
Big
seems
spirit.
like he just seems
Has
like
that big
a
spirit.
good dude,
Yeah.
right? So that commercial to me hit the mark. It was funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's talk about the halftime show.
I was not feeling it at first.
Me either.
But I gotta say, like, you have to give Usher credit. Usher can dance. The guy can
He
move
can still
like
move.
not a lot of people can
Almost
move.
as good as me
And that is such a skill.
on roller skates.
His choreography.
That's the one thing I did like. I
That's
thought
when he won me over.
The roller skates. That's when I started to enjoy the show. Before that, I was like,
Well, because at first I thought it was just going to be the dancers on roller skates. And I was like, wait a minute. Are these people roller skaters? Are they dancers? Like, that's a really freaking hard skill to
they were
dance
doing
on
flips
roller skates.
on roller skates.
And then when Usher came out on roller skates too, I was like, holy cow. I was so impressed.
I also liked the way that they had stripper poles out
Okay,
there
that
for
part.
a Super Bowl.
I don't have a
It's-
problem with the stripper poles, but why was it such a freaking one of my favorite all-time Super Bowl shows is Shakira and J-Lo. I think those girls rocked it and killed it.
nice
And they
shitters.
made such a stink about J-Lo on a stripper pole when that year she was playing homage to Hustlers. That was the year she did Hustlers. I'm like, Usher's got 4 stripper poles up there and no one said anything. Why
We're
was
saying
it such a big deal?
I don't care. I don't think it's a big deal or not. I mean, I'm just saying I thought it was very. I mean, in Vegas, you're gonna have to have stripper poles. It's just you're in Vegas, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't start enjoying the show until Ludacris came out, and then Little John.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
when they came out and they did the crescendo of the show, I was like, all right, this is really cool.
It was definitely a very Vegas show.
Now here's what's crazy. Me being a country music fan, how many Super Bowls do you think have had country music as a halftime? And I only remember this. I only remember this for one reason, and I'll tell you that reason.
I don't know, but I think that's probably an energy thing.
How many do you think we've had?
Have we had any? Has Trisha Yearwood ever done not Trisha Yearwood. Carrie Underwood. Has Carrie Underwood ever done a halftime show?
It was
'Cause she does the
I
NFL
could be wrong on
song.
the year. but it was one of the years that the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills. I want to say it was 94. And it was like, if I can remember correctly, it was like Travis Tritt. It was like the Judds and maybe Trisha Yearwood.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it was 94. 93, 94. It was one of the times.
Oh, if we're talking about a country Super
But
Bowl, I would love to see a Carrie Underwood Super Bowl. I think
that was
awesome.
the only time. But, I mean, you don't think that Morgan Wallen could do it? Or what's his name?
Oh, some of those more like a Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
Did Florida Georgia Line ever come on as a guest with someone else?
I would love to see my boy Cody Johnson do it. That'd be huge.
Yeah, it's just not Super Bowl party energy. It has to be like party energy.
No, but
it's like you're not going to play Cody Johnson in the club. You do a
multiple. If I remember correctly, it was 93 or 94. It was like an ensemble of country famous artists.
Yeah.
Right?
We typically do like America the Beautiful, the national anthem, like Reba did.
I mean, I remember Chris Stapleton singing. Was it? I don't know if it was "God Bless America."
I thought Post Malone did a great job.
It looks like Shania Twain did a halftime show too.
What year was that?
Shania Twain did a halftime
2003.
I don't remember. So who was the one in 94? Who was on that?
It looks like it was Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, Winona Judd.
See.
I think if it went back to Texas, they would choose a
Clint
country
Black,
artist.
Yep. The Judds. But that's it. One time.
Yeah.
One time.
How many Super Bowls have been in Texas?
I don't know, but there's been 58 total Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You know, and to be honest with you, to start talking about, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, but this one I feel like they made it a very Vegas show. Like this year they even had, it was supposed to be Tiesto, but he pulled out. This was the first time they had a DJ playing like during commercial breaks, during breaks there. And I thought that was a really cool addition and gave it some Vegas flair.
I think Vegas is perfect for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I also think that, I also feel for the security guards. I cannot imagine how many fights popped off between Niner fans and Kansas City fans.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how many over drinkers.
This was the first year that when the show started, and I don't consider myself like a super anxious person, but this was the first year that I thought, and I don't know if it's because it was in Vegas, but I just thought, ooh, like I'm a little nervous for those people in that arena. And I've never had that thought or that feeling before.
No, it's scary. It was definitely a very hyped up Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was in Vegas. I felt like there was more celebrities there than normal.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, we got to talk about Taylor Swift showing up.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have anything against Taylor Swift at all. I think.
Why would you? Why does anybody?
Do.
Like, I don't
people
get
do.
It.
People are like, oh my God, they're going to show her again. It's like, well, yeah, there's a storyline there.
I want to see what she's wearing.
If there's just a storyline, right? Here's this famous girl that hooked up with this football player.
Right. Well, it was like
you just want to see.
It was like when Tom Brady dated Giselle. Like he's dating one of the biggest supermodels in the world. Like we want to see her. We want to see what she looks like.
The Cowboys did it first. Tony Romo, when he was
Jessica
playing,
Simpson.
he was dating Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
They would always show Jessica.
Why did Giselle and Jessica Simpson not get as much hate as Taylor Swift does?
Yes, sir.
So Taylor Swift has created a brand value
of
$331.5
million for the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. Yep.
She has increased.
So if you ever thought the NFL was rigged, this is the year to think it's rigged. Because of the amount of money that she was continuing to bring to the NFL, to the brand, right? Little girls are like, oh my God, I want to watch.
Well, they're talking about that. Dads were saying, like, my daughter never cared to watch football with me before. And now we sit on the couch together and watch football because my daughter's interested. And even girls, like, now starting to learn the rules of the game when they would have never cared otherwise. Like, it's brilliant.
Look, I enjoy Super Bowl. I definitely enjoyed, it was just me, my family, my in-laws, very quiet at the
It
house.
was an unusually quiet day for us. I was surprised.
just chilled.
To be honest, I kept thinking like he's gonna text people to come over.
No, we just chilled.
I was shocked. Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just, we were tired too.
Well, you
know,
asked me
and-
too. You were like, "Hey, do we want to invite such and such to come over?" And I was like, "I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the whole game." Like, Sunday I'd already started to lose my voice. I was like,
So we just chill. I enjoyed it. I mean, just relaxing in our. Everybody got in their pajamas.
"Yeah,
In sleepy clothes, and we just relaxed and watched the game. And the first half was a little bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah.
This is where Rick will probably want to chime in. A little bit of a snooze fest, and I had bet the under, which I was excited about because I knew it was a big possibility that I was going to hit the under.
yeah."
because
I don't understand the betting language.
Under 47
Taylor
and a half.
Swift's not involved in that, so I'm not learning it.
There's no commercial. I'm a little warm. I keep, but I got to give it up to Brock, the quarterback, Purdy for the Niners.
I didn't know about him, but that kid was impressive.
That kid is the real deal.
He seems so young. He looks so
But
young.
to be as composed as he is at this age,
Yeah.
did not make a mistake. He did not lose this game.
Out the gate,
The
he was
defense,
just like,
the defense lost the game.
yeah.
That kid was a stud. What do you got to say, Rick?
Oh, I completely disagree with you. 3 for 12 on third downs.
But remember, it's the biggest game. He did not throw a pick. You got to remember that Mahomes had a chance in a very similar situation several years ago to beat the GOAT, Tom Brady, and he could not get it together to do it. And we're talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Purdy is going to be amazing in the future, but to go 3 for 12 in the Super Bowl on third downs, you can't win like that. Cannot win.
No, but it's a tough game. He didn't cough the ball up, and then in the second half kept his composure and was still able to put up points.
How old is this kid?
God, like 21, 22.
Oh my gosh.
He's young. And he's getting paid no money, which is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Like his contract is just
He gets paid about $50,000 a game, and Mahomes gets paid about $50,000 a pass.
He's like one of the last picks.
Renae, just so you know, he was
Damn.
the last pick in the draft.
and he's quarterback
And
at
he
the
ends up
Super
at the Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
That's a story.
But that has happened twice to the Niners. I mean, when they got Kaepernick that first year, he ended up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Second year, he ended up in the Super Bowl. I thought Purdy was composed. I thought he was a good football player that day. I was expecting more of a implosion, if you will, and
Yeah.
like you said, Rick. I mean, the fact that he didn't convert on third down, you could say that he did not have a standout game, but he kept them in the game.
Steve, have you heard that the team, the 49ers, didn't know the new rules? Have you heard about that in overtime?
I heard that too, and I think I just thought that Shanahan, his idea was just to be aggressive. I think he was thinking, look, let's go out. If we get the toss, we're going to get the ball, and we're going to set the tone. But I do agree with the fact that you do want the ball second in that situation so that you know what you're competing against.
There were new overtime rules this year?
Yes, which I love.
Yeah.
I love the new overtime. The old overtime, had they kicked that field goal, it would have been game over.
But you have to prep and I think you have to prep and practice all the different scenarios and possibilities for if you go into overtime and how your team is going to handle it. I think if you haven't done that, you're in trouble.
Well, by the way,
'Cause it's such a game.
speaking of being prepared, I don't know if you know this, Rick, but the same play that won the Super Bowl for them last year was the same play that won the Super Bowl this year.
No way.
Same play. So if you're a
Damn.
coach,
You
how
should
are
have been
you not
for that.
prepared for that play?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But for the gamblers out there, it was 47 and a half was the line, and I took under.
Uh-huh.
It ended up at 47 only because they didn't have to kick the extra point. Had they kicked that extra point, I would have lost and it would have gone over to 48 and I would have lost. But because they didn't have to kick the extra point,
Yeah.
but then you also think about all the people that have football pots and numbers that if they kicked that extra point, that would have put them
Yeah.
in the final to win their number
Yeah.
or hold on to the number that you had. So it was for me, I bet Kansas City and I bet the under and I parlayed it. So I killed it. I freaking annihilated it money-wise. So and Dad, my dad buys 50 damn numbers throughout the year for the Super Bowl, and we hit a couple numbers.
Your dad
and
loves
I,
that.
he loves it. So all in all, I thought it was a good Super Bowl. 2 good commercials, half a halftime show
Yeah.
that I enjoyed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hate on Usher, but it wasn't my favorite. But the guy can dance, and I think he's a good choice for Vegas, for a Vegas Super Bowl
I don't think he
show.
needed to take the shirt off, but
I don't mind.
it was funny when he took the shirt off. Garrett goes, gross. And I was like, you're saying what I'm thinking.
That's hilarious. But also, Janet Jackson has a nip slip, and it's the biggest deal. And then Usher takes off his shirt, and it's no big deal. Like, I
thought it was gross.
It's the standard for a female on the Super Bowl halftime show versus the male that I find interesting.
No, I mean, it's just, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I ever perform the halftime show, I'm going shirtless.
I mean, I was going to say, I think Usher
Well, I think
should have
Bert
just
Kreischer will probably have that first.
Usher
but
should have just done the whole show dancing in his underwear so we can see like every muscle moving. That's what I think.
in his underwear,
Yeah.
every muscle. Wow. Can we cut that? Renee's coming off gross. Renee's coming off gross and perverted. I don't like it. Wow. I'll dance for you tonight in my underwear.
That for you.
I will dance for you tonight in my underwear. So you can see it. Well, mine's a little stationary, but
all I need is the leg show, baby. That's it. I just need the leg show.
we love you guys, and even though we're feeling under the weather, we wanted to make sure that we gave you guys an episode, and we also didn't want to let down Aztec Chevrolet, who's always so good to us. We love them so very much. Give them a chance. Aztec Chevrolet in Beeville, Texas. Uvalde Chevrolet in Uvalde. Aztec Ford in Goliad, Texas. Give them a chance. Old Salt Coffee, Trevino 10, best coffee you'll drink. Pick Cherries, download the app. Rao Western Wear, new designs out. Please get them. Rebecca Creek, we are doing something special at Rebecca Creek for the podcast. I mean, for the special. Stay tuned to that. Next week, Renae will be at the Home and Garden Show in San Antonio.
I got a picture of my billboard. They took a picture of my billboard for me. I'm in front of the Comfort Suites if you want to go visit me.
How did the contest go? I know you ran a contest.
Yes, I did. So the winners get picked today. They will know. The winners will know.
I thought it
when
went
this
well. I
episode
saw
airs.
it, and there was like a lot of people
Yeah.
that chimed in. So thank you guys for loving us and
Yes.
supporting us. And I would like to see Renae get booked all over the country doing home and garden shows. So we can't do any of this without you guys. Everything in our life and our success is because of you guys. So thank you so much for the continued support. And we'll turn that like that.
Are you screwing with that again?
For all the see, look at Adrian. Adrian doesn't like it. Rick doesn't like
Nobody
it.
Cut.
likes it. Don't
Take it
touch
from the
It's
top
still-
again. Let's start the whole podcast over.
We love you guys. We're so excited for you guys to see the new special. It is coming out shortly. And this is another episode of Steve. Oh, and I do have to ask, and I forget to ask. Please please share, please rate, please comment on our podcast.
Yes.
If you love us, we need your help. If you have not yet rated the podcast, if you have not yet shared the podcast, please help us. It is growing. It is getting bigger and bigger. And it's because of you guys.
The other thing they can do is you can download Pick Cherries and you can clip a cherry through the app and share it with your friends. And YouTube allows you to do that too. So if you want to just clip out a little piece of the podcast yourself and share it with your friends,
Well,
you can
we
do
love
it.
you guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.